Hello students, we have finished the first lesson of chemistry part of Science 1, that is periodic classification of elements. Now today we are going to start the second lesson of chemistry part of Science 1, that is third chapter chemical reactions and equations. Let's have a quick recall of what we already know. What are the types of molecules, of elements and compounds? So we all know elements are divided into three classes, that is metals, non-metals and metalloids. When two or more elements combine chemically in a fixed proportion by weight, a compound is formed. The properties of a compound are altogether different from those of the constitutional elements. Next is, what is meant by valency of elements? Answer: the number of electrons that an atom of an element gives away or takes up while forming an ionic bond is called the valency of that element. Now, let's start with today's topic. So let me give you a few situations and you need to tell me the change that occur is physical or chemical. Paper is torn, second is paper is burned, water is converted to ice and we respire. Which among these are physical changes and which were chemical changes? To differentiate, we first need to know what physical and what chemical changes means. A physical change is a process in which the substance experiences change like shape, size, appearance, state. There is no change in the internal structure or molecule of composition. A chemical change, on the other hand, results in the formation of new substance entirely. The atoms of one or more substances arrange or combine to form a new substance. Let's get back to the examples. First, paper is torn. Is it a physical change or chemical change? Are we getting new substance entirely or the chemical properties changing? Not at all. The paper is torn into the just two pieces. The paper is just a paper, nothing else. Hence, it's a physical change. What about paper is burnt? Here, paper is converted into ashes and smoke. Entirely new substance. Hence, this is a chemical change. Now, what about water being converted into the ice? Here, only the state of matter is changing, which is a physical property. Ice can be converted back into the water with a little bit of heating. Hence, it's a physical change. Now see the last one. What happens when we respire? We utilize the oxygen which we inhale, and after the respiration process, CO2 means carbon dioxide is exhaled. Clearly a new substance is formed. So it's a chemical change. Whenever a chemical change occurs, we say it's a chemical reaction, and this is what we will study in detail in this chapter. What we actually mean by it, how do we know that the reaction is taken place? All these we will get to know in this chapter. Now see the definition of chemical reaction. A process in which some substances undergo bond breaking and are transformed into new substances by formation of new bonds is called a chemical reaction. For example, formation of carbon dioxide gas by combustion of coal in air is a chemical reaction. In this reaction, coal means carbon and oxygen from air are the reactant while carbon dioxide is the product. A chemical reaction is represented by writing a chemical equation. See some examples of chemical reaction like burning of wood, curdling of milk, rusting of iron. We have seen what is physical changes. See the definition of physical change. A physical change takes place due to change in parameters such as temperature, pressure. Often a physical change is reversible. The composition of matter remains the same in a physical change. For example, ice is transformed into water on heating and water is transformed into ice on cooling. Here in this table, see all the phenomenon given and identify which is physical and which is chemical changes. Now the definition of chemical reaction. The representation of a chemical reaction in a condensed form using chemical formula is called a chemical equation. Example, a colorless solution of zinc sulfate ZnSO4 is formed on addition of zinc dust. The blue solution of copper sulfate CuSO4. This chemical reaction can be written in brief as follows. Aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus we are adding zinc dust. What we are getting is aqueous solution of zinc sulfate plus copper. This simple way of representing a chemical reaction in words is called a word equation. A word equation can be written in a further condensed form by using chemical formulae as follows. C. CuSO4 plus Zn gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. The left side of the arrow is reactant and the right side are product. Now, rules used in writing a chemical equation. Here are the symbolic representation of the reaction. If the given chemical in the reaction is solid, it is written as small s in a bracket. Similarly, for liquid gas, it is small n and small g. If the solution is aqueous, then small a, small q. If in the reaction any gases are produced, then the arrow will be on upward direction. If in the reaction precipitate is forming, then the arrow will be on downward direction. And the direction of the reaction will be considered on a straight arrow. Next rule, the reactants are written on left hand side while the products are written right hand side. Whenever there are two or more reactants, a plus sign is written between each two of them. Similarly, if there are two or more products, a plus sign is written between each two of them. Next rule is, reactant side and product side are connected with an arrow pointed from reactants to products. The arrow represents the direction of the reaction. Heat is to be given from outside to the reaction. It is indicated by this sign, triangular sign written above the arrow. The conditions like temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. are mentioned above the arrow pointed towards the product side. Next rule is special information or names of reactants or products are written below their formulae. For example, if copper on reaction with concentrated nitric acid gives reddish color poisonous nitrogen dioxide gas, then see we have written below the HNO3 concentrated. We are using concentrated, then we have to write a concentrated in a bracket. If we are using dilute HNO3, dilute nitric acid, then we will write dilute in a bracket. So this was about how to write chemical equation. Now next we will do how to balance a chemical reaction. Till then, practice how to write chemical reaction. Thank you all.